How many nights have you gone to bed imagining a better life, and how many mornings have you woken up only to live the same day over again? Let me tell you something. Dreams without action are just fantasies. Wishing is easy because it asks nothing of you. But easy doesn't change your life. Every day you spend only dreaming is another day slipping through your hands. How long will you keep watching from the sidelines, hoping life will magically shift? At what point do you stop saying one day and start saying today? The clock is ticking whether you move or not. You can't buy back time. The question is no longer if you want success. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to move toward it, starting now? Wishing is like standing behind a window, staring at the life you want while it moves on without you. You can see it. You can almost touch it, but you never open the door. Why? Because wishing feels safe. There's no risk in wishing, no failure, no pressure, but there's also no reward. Life doesn't hand out prizes for intentions. It rewards motion. Imagine driving past an open road every single day, but never turning the wheel. That's what wishing does. It keeps you parked in the same spot while opportunity speeds away. The view might look inspiring, but the glass between you and reality is self-imposed. You're not locked out. You just haven't turned the handle yet. Here's the truth. Wishing doesn't build anything except frustration. Action, even messy, imperfect action, builds bridges. It connects where you are to where you want to be. Every time you act, you lay another plank across the gap between your dream and reality. But wishing is standing at the edge, staring at the canyon, and hoping a bridge will build itself. Meanwhile, the dust of inaction collects on your dreams until they start to feel unreachable. You don't need to wait for perfect plans. You don't need to wait for permission. One action today is worth more than 1,000 wishes for tomorrow. Stop letting dust settle on the life you were meant to live. Ask yourself honestly, if wishing alone worked, wouldn't you already be living the life you've been imagining? How many years have you been carrying the same dream in your heart, waiting for something to change without you taking the first step? Success doesn't respond to hope, it responds to hustle. Every person you admire didn't wish their way to greatness. They worked their way there. Wishing might feel good for a moment, but it doesn't pay off. It doesn't get you closer. It keeps you exactly where you are. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I wish," stop and replace it with "I will." Then prove it. Every success story starts with a moment, a single day where someone drew the line and said, "No more wishing. It's time to act." That day could be today if you decide it is. Today you can trade empty dreams for real decisions. The decision to get up, the decision to move forward, the decision to stop waiting for life to hand you something and start building it yourself. You don't need all the answers. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to choose. One choice can flip the script of your life. One decision can be the spark that lights the fire of everything you've ever wanted. Why not make it right now? Someday is seductive. It whispers promises that feel comforting. One day I'll start. One day I'll change. One day I'll chase my dream. Saying someday lets you feel hopeful without taking the risk of action. But here's the catch. Someday is a lie. It keeps you warm while quietly stealing your time. You convince yourself you're planning when really you're postponing. That false comfort is why so many people stay stuck for years. It's easier to say "I will" than it is to say "I am." But until you trade someday for today, success will always stay out of reach. Wishing feels free. It doesn't demand sweat. It doesn't ask for discipline. It doesn't make you face failure. But what feels free today will cost you everything tomorrow. Every day you spend wishing is a day you could have been building. Every year you spend planning to act is a year you could have been living the life you want. Think of all the dreams buried under the weight of "I'll start tomorrow." Regret is the bill that always comes due when you trade action for comfort. The price, a future you'll never get back. Wishing is like sitting in a car stuck in neutral. The engine is running, you can hear it, you can feel the vibration, but you're not going anywhere. You're not moving forward, but you're not technically going backward either. And that's the danger, because staying in neutral tricks you into thinking you're safe. But life isn't a parking lot, it's a highway. If you don't move, you get left behind. Every second you sit there wishing, the gap between where you are and where you want to be gets wider. You don't need to slam the gas to 100. You just need to shift into drive. Hope is good, it's necessary. But hope without action is a trap. Too many people confuse hope with progress. They think because they feel motivated, they're moving forward. They're not. Motivation without movement is like staring at a map but never taking a step. Hope is the spark. Action is the flame. Without action, that spark burns out. Ask yourself, are you actually progressing, or are you just hoping life will hand you what you haven't worked for? The answer to that question decides your future. Here's the harsh truth. Someday doesn't stay harmless forever. It hardens into habit. It buries your dreams alive. And the longer you sit in it, the heavier it gets until climbing out feels impossible. But it's not impossible. The way out is one move, one decision, one small action that says, I refuse to stay stuck. The trap only has power if you keep feeding it. The moment you act, you break it. Don't wait until regret becomes your loudest voice. Break out now while the door is still open. You can't wish your way to success. You can't sit in your room visualizing a better future and expect it to knock on your door. Success doesn't come to wishers. It comes to workers. It comes to the ones who show up every day, even when they're tired, even when they're scared, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Wishing makes you feel good for a moment. Work makes you feel proud for a lifetime. Let me tell you something. Every person who has what you want paid for it with sweat, sacrifice, and relentless action. The question is, are you willing to pay the same price? Picture a giant canyon. On one side stands your dream. On the other stands you. Wishing is standing there staring at the gap, hoping it fills itself. Action is picking up planks, hammering them down, and building the bridge one step at a time. That bridge isn't built in a day. It's built in decisions. Every choice to move, every step forward, every time you act when it would have been easier to wish, that's a plank laid down. One day you look back and realize you've crossed, but only if you start building now. Imagine getting in your car, turning on the engine, and sitting there thinking about where you want to go. Hours pass, days pass, you're still in the same spot. That's what life without action looks like. You can plan, you can dream, you can wish, but until you put the car in gear and press the pedal, nothing changes. Wishing feels like motion, but it's an illusion. Action is the only thing that actually moves you forward. And the longer you wait, the rustier the engine gets. Don't let your dreams die parked in neutral. Start driving now. Dreaming is beautiful. Planning is smart. But without action, they're worthless. A blueprint without a builder is just paper. A dream without movement is just a fantasy. Dream it, plan it. But for God's sake, act on it. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards execution. Stop being the person who talks about what they want to do and start being the person who does it. One action today is more valuable than 1,000 dreams you never move on. Don't just think about it. Do it. We all have that one action we avoid. The one step that feels too big. The one risk that makes our stomach drop. That step, that's the one you need to take. Fear doesn't show up where you're safe. It shows up where growth lives. What's the move you've been avoiding because wishing felt easier than acting? Be honest. Name it. Then do it. That's the step that changes everything. The one you've been running from is the one that will open the door to the life you've been dreaming about. Excuses sound reasonable. They sound logical. I don't have time. I don't have the resources. I'll start when things settle down. But strip away the words, and every excuse is the same thing, comfort dressed up as reason. Excuses are not walls built by the world. They are blankets you wrap around yourself to avoid the sting of change. And here's the harsh truth. Comfort feels safe now, but costs you everything later. Every time you tell yourself I can't because you're not protecting yourself. You're protecting your current life from becoming the one you really want. Excuses don't hit you all at once. They rob you one day at a time. One missed opportunity, one delayed decision, one dream you keep saying you'll chase later. And while you're busy explaining why you can't, life doesn't pause to wait. It moves. Your excuses feel like safety, but they are thieves. They are stealing the future you were meant to live. Every time you repeat the same reason for not starting, you're adding another lock on the door to your potential. You think you're buying time. What you're really buying is regret. Imagine holding chains in your hands and wrapping them around your own body. That's what excuses are. No one is tying you up. No one is holding you back but you. And the longer you keep repeating them, the tighter they get. I don't have time becomes a chain. I don't have support becomes a chain. What if I fail becomes a chain. Before you know it, you've locked yourself in a prison you built. But here's the good news. You're holding the key. Every time you choose action over excuse, you break a link. Keep moving, and the chains will fall. Be honest. Which excuse have you been feeding? Which story have you been repeating to yourself so much it now feels like truth? We all have one. That valid reason that explains why we haven't moved yet. But here's the reality. It's not truth. It's fear. It's comfort. It's the lie you've told yourself to stay safe. What would happen if you killed that excuse today? If you stopped nurturing it and replaced it with a simple, powerful choice to act anyway? That's where freedom starts. Not when circumstances change, but when you stop letting excuses lead your life. Excuses are not the end. They can become the beginning if you flip them. No time. Use that urgency to carve out 5 minutes and prove to yourself you can start small. No resources. Let that scarcity build your creativity and resilience. Fear of failure. Let that fear remind you how much this matters, and use it to sharpen your focus. Excuses only have power if you use them to stop. When you use them to start, they turn into fuel. Stop seeing excuses as chains. See them as the firewood for the life you're about to build. Break one today. Break one tomorrow. Keep breaking them until nothing holds you back. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Too many people waste years waiting for the right moment, the right tools, or the right plan. Let me tell you something. The right moment doesn't exist. The only right moment is now. You don't need the perfect setup. You don't need everything figured out. Start with what you have, right where you are. That first imperfect step will teach you more than a lifetime of waiting ever will. Big change isn't built in leaps. It's built in layers. One step, one habit, one day repeated over and over. That's the formula for every success story you've ever heard. Stop trying to climb the entire mountain in one move. Just take the first step, then take another tomorrow. Stack those small wins, and you'll look back one day standing at the peak wondering how you got there. The answer will be simple. You kept moving. A seed is tiny, almost invisible compared to the tree it becomes. But inside that small start is everything it needs to grow into something massive. Your actions are the same. That tiny decision to start, that 5 minutes of effort today, can grow into a life you can't even imagine right now. Don't underestimate small moves. They are the seeds of transformation. Plant one today. Water it tomorrow. Keep showing up, and watch your forest grow. Close your eyes and picture this. What if you committed to one small step every single day for the next 365 days? Just one. How different would your life look a year from now? It's not the giant leaps that change you. It's the compounding effect of daily action. One step a day for a year is 365 steps closer to the life you want. Can you imagine how unstoppable that would make you? Start with day one. Start now. Every story of greatness you've ever admired began small. A business empire started with one idea scribbled on paper. An Olympic athlete started with one shaky step on a track. A best-selling book started with one messy sentence. Greatness doesn't arrive fully formed. It grows from tiny starts. Don't despise the small beginning. Celebrate it, because that small beginning is the proof that you've left wishing behind and stepped into building. Dreams are the spark, but discipline is the engine. Without discipline, even the best dreams stall and die. You can want success with every fiber of your being, but if you can't show up consistently, nothing happens. Discipline is showing up when you're tired, when it's inconvenient, when no one's watching. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's the one thing that turns someday into today. Every successful person you admire had a moment where they chose discipline over comfort, over excuses, over feelings. That's why they made it, and why you can too if you choose the same path. Momentum is power. It starts small, like a snowball at the top of a hill. At first it feels like nothing. A few steps, a few days, barely noticeable. But every action adds weight. Every repetition adds speed. Soon the snowball is moving on its own, carrying you with it. That's the gift of momentum. It makes action addictive. It turns discipline from a fight into a flow. Your only job is to start rolling. Keep moving long enough, and momentum will carry you through the days when motivation fades. Desire is easy. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants the dream. But wanting isn't enough. Desire without discipline is a dead end. It feels good in your head, but goes nowhere in real life. Discipline is what separates the people who wish from the people who win. It's the difference between I want it and I will build it. If you've been stuck in the wishing stage, check your discipline. That's the bridge you've been missing. One of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is this: what small daily routine could change everything over time? It doesn't have to be big. It could be writing for 10 minutes, exercising for 15, making one sales call, reading 10 pages. Small routines compound. They don't just build habits, they build identity. Start with one routine that reinforces the life you want. Stick to it until it becomes part of you. That one simple shift can alter the entire trajectory of your future. Action is good, but disciplined action, that's unstoppable. That's how empires are built. That's how ordinary people become extraordinary. Discipline turns effort into momentum, and momentum into transformation. The first steps are the hardest. But once you lock into consistency, discipline becomes a part of who you are. And when action is no longer a choice but your identity, nothing can stop you. That's when you stop wishing and start winning. Stop running after success like it's running away from you. Success isn't avoiding you. It's waiting for you to become the person capable of holding it. You don't need to chase it. You need to attract it by becoming the version of yourself that can handle the life you want. Upgrade yourself, and success will find you. You cannot create a new future while dragging the old version of you with it. The habits, the mindset, the excuses that built your current life cannot build the next one. You have to shed them. You have to grow beyond them. Every dream demands a new level of you. That's why transformation is more about who you become than what you achieve. Think of yourself like a computer. You can't run advanced programs on outdated software. The life you want is a program your current operating system can't handle. You need an upgrade. New habits, new discipline, new beliefs, that's the upgrade. Once you update your internal system, the external results will follow naturally. Stop asking, what do I need to do? And start asking, who do I need to become? That's the real question. The answer will guide every choice you make. Your dream life isn't waiting for more effort. It's waiting for a stronger, braver, more disciplined version of you to show up and claim it. Lasting success isn't built on motivation. It's built on identity. When you shift who you believe you are, your actions naturally follow. When you see yourself as disciplined, you act disciplined. When you see yourself as capable, you act capable. Change your identity, and you'll change your life. That's the real secret behind every transformation story. Never underestimate the power of one decision. One act of courage can echo through generations. When you rise, you don't just change your life. You set off a chain reaction. Your children, your family, your friends, they all feel the ripple. One choice to act today can shape a legacy you can't even see yet. When you choose to act, you give silent permission to everyone watching to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. People you don't even know are inspired by your example. That's how movements start. That's how lives change. Your action is bigger than you. This isn't just about you. Staying small doesn't just rob you of your future. It robs everyone who needed to see you rise. Your family, your community, the people you were meant to impact. Fear and excuses don't just cost you, they cost them too. At the end of your life, no one will remember what you wished for. They'll remember what you built. Action is what leaves a mark. Action is what creates legacy. Wishing is invisible. It dies with you. But every brave step you take lives beyond you. Choose to act now, and you'll leave something behind that matters. It's time. No more excuses. No more wishing. No more waiting for the right moment. The right moment is here. Stop wishing. Start moving. Stop waiting. Start building. Every second you delay is another second wasted. Act now. Say it out loud. I will not wish, I will act. I will transform. Declare it until it sinks into your bones. This is the moment you decide who you are. This is the moment everything changes. This speech is not the fire, it's the spark. The fire comes when you act. One step, one choice, one move today ignites the flame that will burn through every excuse and light the path to your future. Your future doesn't care about your intentions. It's waiting for your action. It's waiting for the moment you stop dreaming and start doing. That moment is now. Let this be the day they ask you about years from now. The day you stopped wishing. The day you started building. The day everything changed. Make it now. Forever.